This is a Fox News alert. Israel and Hamas both agreeing, at least for the moment, to a new ceasefire plan. The 72-hour ceasefire is set to start tomorrow morning, but today, very grim news. The violence expanding. 2 attacks on Israelis in Jerusalem. First, a terrorist attack on an Israeli bus. Then a gunman on a motorcycle reportedly shot an Israeli soldier. Fox News correspondent Rick Leventhal live in Gaza City with the very latest. Rick.
Greta, this is the 7th negotiated ceasefire between Israel and Hamas since this conflict began. The last 6 ended prematurely, including a very similar 72-hour deal that was supposed to begin last Friday morning and ended 90 minutes later when Hamas attacked and killed 3 Israeli soldiers. So there's a lot of pessimism, but perhaps some hope, because the Palestinians reportedly asked for this current ceasefire agreement, and conditions have gotten very, very grim inside of Gaza. At least 10,000 buildings, homes and businesses have now reportedly been destroyed during this 28-day war. More than 1,800 have been reported killed by Palestinians in Gaza, and more than 9,000 people wounded. They say many civilians among those casualties, which of course Israel blames Hamas for these casualties. It says militants are using Palestinians as human shields, firing rockets and launching other attacks from homes, schools, and densely populated areas. You mentioned some attacks in Jerusalem today. One, a bizarre attack involving a Palestinian man living in East Jerusalem who's used a construction excavator. He used it to knock over a city bus. The driver of that bus was hurt. There were other people also hurt, and a pedestrian was killed, a 29-year-old father of 5, before police were able to shoot and kill the man who was driving that piece of construction equipment. Another shooting on the street, Greta. Someone shot a 20-year-old Israeli soldier in the stomach and then hopped on a motorcycle and took off. Police are still looking for that gunman. Greta.
Rick, thank you. And the new ceasefire is set to start in just hours, but does it stand a chance? Hamas breaking the last ceasefire in under 90 minutes, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warning the Obama administration not to ever second-guess him again. Former UN Ambassador John Bolton joins us. Good evening, sir. The 7th negotiated ceasefire, as Rick just said, where the Palestinians asked for it. Doesn't say Hamas asked for it.
Yeah, well, this is just part of a long series of ceasefires. This one will be broken in due course. The issue here is not whether you can get a temporary ceasefire for humanitarian relief supplies to come in. The real issue is whether this conflict between Israel and Hamas is going to see an ending. And all the pressure that the West, the United States in particular, puts on Israel to agree to a ceasefire simply means the conflict's going to go on. What
do you think that Prime Minister Netanyahu means by "don't ever second-guess me again"?
Well, I think this is on Hamas's fundamental intent. And I have to say, both the Israelis and the Obama administration in public have tried, in most cases, not to put their real emotions out in public, because they are raw, especially on the Israeli side. They see the Hamas threat as directed at their innocent civilian population, the tunnels, the rockets, the cooperation with Iran, and they want to take steps to protect themselves. And honestly, it's not happening. They've caused Hamas a lot of damage, a lot of tunnels destroyed, a lot of rockets destroyed. As long as Hamas exists, the threat exists.
Well, you know, the ceasefire, then, just, I mean, it's sort of peculiar. It just brings maybe some aid in, maybe it'll be broken, but just keeps going. The ceasefire is never thought of as anything more than a timeout.
Well, it's a timeout for Hamas, and I think Israel understands that. And that's why, ultimately, unless Hamas itself is destroyed or does a 180-degree reversal on its fundamental philosophical principles, we're simply postponing this conflict until another time.
Do you see any indication that's going to happen? That Hamas is going to change?
Of course not.
And, I don't either. That's why I asked you.
And that's why I think Israel ought to be able to finish the job of defending itself and win the war against Hamas, not just have another ceasefire.
Well, I think from Prime Minister Netanyahu, don't ever second-guess me again. I think it's pretty clear he intends to finish this.
He's going to try to, although the odds are now that they're going to withdraw from Gaza and we'll be back here again very soon.
So you think you think that he is not going all the way? That would surprise me.
No, the real issue here is, can he get to the missiles hidden under Gaza City, the longer-range missiles, and it doesn't look like he's going to do it.
Ambassador, thank you, sir.
Thank you.